There's a famous Jack London story called To Build a Fire, where a man who's desperately trying to stay alive builds a fire under a tree like this one. And the fire starts going, and then it melts what's on the tree, which is the snow, and the snow falls on the fire and puts it out. Your location for building a fire is super important, and today I'm going to show you how to build a fire in the snow. So you can see how small these sticks are right here. These are perfect for starting a fire, and they're underneath all the canopy of the rest of the tree. So we're gonna take these to start our fire with. So I've chosen a location. If you look up, you can see that there's no dead branches or anything above me. The hill rises on most sides of me, but I'm not in the lowest spot. So if snow slides or everything gets wet, I'm not gonna be in a soaking area. And the snow is actually falling freely. Everything that's around here doesn't have leaves on it, so it's not holding a bunch of snow that's gonna fall on my area. The thing you need to know about snow that a lot of people mistake is you do not need to raise your fire off the snow, and you definitely don't want to dig down into the snow, because if you dig down, you get to actually the wet ground. So what we want to start by doing is we actually want to stomp out an area for our fire. You literally are just going to come and you're going to stomp on the ground and you're going to make an area to light your fire. And you actually want to create a space for air to flow in and out of the fire as well. All right, so once we have this done, the next thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna light our fire on the snow. And the reason we light the fire on the snow is actually because the snow acts like a sponge. And so most of this snow is just air. So when you melt the snow, it's going to actually, that water is gonna get absorbed into the rest of the snow, right? Rather than it getting into the fire. So this actually acts as a protective layer for your fire. Come on, fire. There we go. And you just put fuel where fire is. So when you're ready to light your fire, you don't dig down into the snow, and you actually don't want to even necessarily build up off of the snow, because that's going to elevate and the wind could blow it out. And I'm intentionally I'm feeling the wood before I put it on to make sure it's not too wet. And we just keep going, putting fuel where fire is. When we see it's not coming up above, we just wait a second, and then we go again. I usually just do crisscross patterns for now, because if you notice, it's actually putting the sticks on the snow as the rest of the fire sinks into the snow, which is pretty cool. It kind of creates a cool hole effect in the ground. But the fire, as long as it can keep coming up, it's going to get more oxygen. And if you want, you can kind of dig with your finger a little bit and create a hole for that air to come back in. Thank you for watching this episode of Wild Generation. We're going to let this fire go out because, I'm going home. It's better with the sound effects. Let me check it. Look at that. That's kind of gross.